Hello everyone. My name is Jo and I'm an independent cloud consultant based in Sydney, Australia. This is a series of videos where we will go through questions which are very similar to Azure AI-102 certification. I'll explain in detail each and every options and figure out the correct answer. So if you're preparing for AI-102 certification, join me in this video. Now, a basic knowledge of Azure AI services will help you to better understand these questions. Now, regarding me, I watched one training to prepare for the exam. From watching this training, I got insights on different Azure AI services, what are those services used for, how to create them, and much more. So if you're preparing for your Azure AI-102 certification, I would highly recommend you this training. The link to this training will be given in the description box below. Now to the format of the question. There will be few steps provided. We have to choose the most appropriate ones to fulfill the requirement given in the question. You have a language understanding solution that you want to deploy using Docker container in your host computer. Which three actions should you perform in sequence to prepare and run the solution on a host computer? Select the correct options from below. Now let us break down the question. So the question is regarding a language understanding solution. So we have to deploy this language understanding solution using Docker container in your host computer. So we have to deploy it into our host computer. So what are the steps you perform to run language understanding model on a host computer? That is the question. So this is regarding Azure AI language service, and we have to figure out the steps to run this service as a container in your host computer. Now to the options. So the options can be categorized into two. One are the steps which you have to do in the language understanding portal, and the others are the steps which you have to do in the host computer. So from the language understanding portal, we have to export the solution as a package file. Now in language understanding portal, we have to retrain the model. Then in the host computer, move the package file to the Docker input directory. In host computer, build the container and specify the output directory. In host computer, run the container and specify the input directory. Now let us go through the documentation. Now Azure AI language is a natural language processing service used to understand and analyze text input. So this article talks about installing and running Docker containers for LUIS. So LUIS is a language understanding service which is used to understand natural language. So it is a service offered by Azure AI language service. Now here it says containers enable to use LUIS in your own environment. So we can use this as a container in our own environment. Now if we further go down, here you can see the steps to use the container in your host computer. So first we have to export the container, move the file to input mount, run the container with input mount, and use the container for our needs. So first is to export package for container from the LUIS portal or LUIS API. First we have to export the container package. Then we have to move the package file into the required input directory on the host computer. So in host computer, we have to move this package file into the input directory. Do not rename, alter, overwrite or decompress the LUIS package file. And the third step is to run the container with the required input mount and billing settings. So these are the initial three steps needed to run a LUIS container in your host computer. Once the container is up and running, you can use the containers endpoint for various queries. Now let us get back into the question. Now as per the documentation, what are the three steps we need to do? First, from the language understanding portal, we have to export the solution as a package file. And the next step is from the host computer, we have to move the package to the Docker input directory. And after that, from the host computer, run the container and specify the input directory. So build the container and retrain the model in the LUIS portal are wrong options. So these are the three steps which we have to follow. Now what did we learn from this video? We learned how to run a LUIS container in your own environment. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Thank you.